This guy has got me fascinated right now. I can't stop binging his stuff. Talks about reading C.S. Lewis, and I found this really, really fascinating. Also, his beard game is strong, which is a lot of points in his favor. Strong, strong beard game. Listen to what he talks about, and I think you'll resonate with this, Ivory John. This is part of why I wanted to point him out to you.
And I found it difficult while conservative Protestant churches, in my opinion, were putting out some wonderful Christians. They were.
And the context behind this, he means wonderful Christians in terms of their fervor, their spiritual fruit, their desires, their passion, etc. He's saying, look, our conservative, yes, zeal, love it. Thank you, Ivory John. So he says our conservative Christians are good with zeal, right? But he also means it in terms of, just general spiritual, growth, right? Like they're just really good at being Christians, he said. That's what I found. But he notes a problem, and it's a fundamental problem that I think you and I both resonate with, Ivory John.
Nation is slowly being addressed in our midst, and I think my channel is part of that project too. And I found it difficult while conservative Protestant churches, in my opinion, were putting out some wonderful Christians. They were often places where one couldn't be terribly honest, and that was a problem.
Oh,
and so
fundamentalism,
often,
man.
The more progressive a church could be, at least you could be honest about certain things, and usually more honest. But ironically,
probably a coffee drinker.
Increasingly, and this is probably why I'm the pastor of the IDW, increasingly these progressive churches are places that you can't be honest about other things. In terms of these issues of Genesis and cosmology, liberals could at least be honest, but offered me little in terms of what I really needed and wanted from the Bible, because they kept explaining it away and say, hey, I need a real Jesus. I need someone that tells me that the commitments and decisions to live and love in a costly way are going to be worth it in the world. And Jesus gives that to me. So if your explains away my Jesus, I don't want to have any part of it.
Let's go.
But the conservative churches couldn't be honest in other regards. And so I wanted a place where people could be honest. And in all fairness, you can find very conservative churches where they could be, and you can find progressive churches where they could be. But I just wanted honesty where we could talk about our doubts.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Like, when I was listening to that, I was just resonating so much with what he's saying. I've seen the same divide that he's talking about. I like that you can be honest and you can have questions in progressive circles, but they explain away the whole Bible, and just like he says, once you explain away my Jesus, I don't want to have anything to do with you, right? You can't explain away my Jesus. That's the heartbeat of my faith. So I love that you're allowing me to be honest, but I hate the fact that you've liberalized so much that there's no Jesus anymore. And then I've got conservative churches, and they hold to Jesus, the Jesus I love, but you can't be honest. You can't have a conversation. And man, when I was listening to this, I was just resonating so much with his stuff. He's so bingeable. He's got so many hours of material. It's insane. It's insane. I'm glad, Ivory John. This guy is really wise in his application of scriptural and biblical ideas. And he sees the nuance. He sees the complexity of how to apply these things. And I hope I can be half as wise as him one day. It's very, very interesting. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys and he just goes, I'll play a little bit more, but this was the heartbeat of what I wanted you guys to hear.
And at the beginning of so you have the seeker movement, and then you have the emergent movement. The emergent movement split between the progressive revelation, between the progressive evangelicals and the young, restless, and reformed. And so all of these issues are lurking underneath. Yet few could explain to me how to get out of this dilemma. And so this is what my channel is about. And this is why I'm talking to progressive evangelicals, and I'm talking to young restless and reforms. Not a lot of them come this way, but I'm talking to Jonathan Peugeot and John Vervaeke and all of y'all out there, because we're working this stuff out. And the Roman Catholics have some wisdom there, and the Orthodox have some wisdom there, and the non-believers have some wisdom there, and we're actually having honest conversations like I've always wanted to have in churches, but churches somehow couldn't afford it.
Oh, he's just hot fire. He's just hot fire. That's all I can say. I wanted to have these conversations in churches, but churches couldn't afford it. We have built up the walls of orthodoxy, the fences around our churches, to conserve something that's important, to conserve theology, to conserve doctrine, to conserve these biblical truths that we can't lose. You can go too far and lose too much of the Bible, that you lose all the transformative power of Christianity in the process. And so we rightfully protect those things, those aspects of our faith. But too often we do it so far that no longer can people be honest. No longer can we have the conversations. The fences are built too high. The lines in the sand have been drawn. The walls are there. And don't you dare question where we've built them, how we've built them, and why we built them. And once you get to that point, you may protect the faith, but you've made it nigh impossible to win anyone else into that faith. You've become so insular, you've built such an echo chamber that nobody can get in. And we do this through language. There are certain calling cards. You ask certain questions to try and discern where somebody is coming from. And you've made it very clear, pragmatically, where we stand on these issues, and you better see if you can fit yourself in or not. There's a balance here, guys. There's a tension. And too often, just like Fuzz says, I see people go off too far in one direction or too far in the other direction. And there's not a balance that we need to have as the church. It's tough, man. People find it really tough to strike that balance. And I don't know if I strike it perfectly all the time either. But I resonate so much with his vision of what the church is, what we're to be, what we're to be doing. So anyway, wanted to share that with you guys. He's awesome, guys. He's awesome. I can't stop binging his stuff. Hey guys, a great part of Christian growth and discipleship comes from engaging with one another and iron sharpening iron. If you would like to more actively engage with this community, we would love to have you. If you hit up Twitch or Discord down in the description below, you can get more involved in this conversation, and we would love to have you there. Also, if you would like to support this channel, please do so through Patreon. The link is down in the description below. Take care. God bless. Bye now.